now, Ashton. Test, 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 test. Okay, so I'm just doing final setups here. We're starting engines in about 12 minutes, 7:18 a.m. here at the Vancouver Coal Harbour Float Base. And as I say, we'll officially be starting in about 12 minutes from now. So as I say, I'm just doing some final setups, and as I say, posting this show to my various social media right now. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I just want to quickly jump in and say hello to the early birds here. Surly Dev, J Rowe, Friday Harbor, and One Av Geek Girl, Doug Robinson. So Glenn as well. Welcome to the show. As I say, just bear with me for a few minutes. I'm just going to my Facebook and whatnot, and posting that I am live right now at Vancouver Downtown Coal Harbour Float Base. Streaming now. So, hope everybody's doing well. So, as I say, just take a few minutes here for me to do my postings, to try to bring some more eyeballs to the show. And take me just a few minutes. We've got a bit of time because it is 7:19 a.m. Pacific time here in Vancouver. And the float planes don't really start flying until about, exactly 7:30. That's when they're legally allowed to start their engines and get the show going. So the plan is we're going to be here roughly for about 2 hours. So hopefully until about 9:30. That's kind of the peak period of the morning rush out of Coal Harbour. So it's like a 2-hour peak. And the time just goes by in a flash. So it's all good. It's all good. And we enjoy it a lot. Or I certainly do. I hope you guys do as well. And I hope you've had a good week. Hope you have enjoyed the summer, if you're joining us in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, hope your winter is going well. So as I say, we've got about 9 minutes to showtime until they start turning engines here in the harbor. And our show will start with probably a Twin Otter departure. That's probably what's going to happen. So let me just go back to the chat. I've done my social media posts, so that's all in order. Hopefully we'll get some eyeballs here. Hello, Hans-Olaf Morik and Gerard. Nice to see you, Gerard. Hope you're doing well. So maybe while we've got a little bit of time, I can just put my own mug on camera, so to speak. It is bright, so I'll be washed out. Well, what's this? Maybe something like that. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works, guys. Okay, well, here we are. We are at the Vancouver Coal Harbour Float Base. My name is Henry Tenby. This is the early show. We're starting in about 8 minutes officially. The sound bylaw is that they can't run aircraft engines before 7:30 in the morning. So the current time is about, it's about 7:26, 7:27. So another 5 or 6 minutes until they can actually start the engines. You are watching the JetFlix channel here on YouTube, and we're going to be streaming a 2-hour live show from beautiful Cole Harbour here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. What a beautiful morning it is, actually. Holy camole. It's about 20 degrees right now. They're calling for a high of 30 degrees, and it's going to be humid apparently for the next few days. So summer is in full bloom here in Vancouver. And this is the place to be. This is Cole Harbour, downtown Vancouver, and I'm at the float base, and we've got a whole bunch of float planes that are going to be departing. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic show. I'm looking forward to it very, very much. Hope you are as well. We're spending the summer out here at the Cole Harbour facility for our streams, just because we're at YVR throughout the rest of the year, and why not be here? Because it's a completely different show, it's a different feel, it's a different atmosphere, it's a different vibe. So for that reason, I like to hang out here, and it's quiet. It's quiet. I don't have to deal with sweltering heat. We don't have to look right into the sun at the airport and traipse through dirt, and it's just easier here. That's why we're here. So if you're wondering, for the remainder of the summer, every Thursday, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here, Vancouver, Cole Harbour. That's where we're going to be. So we've got an airplane. We've got some passengers that are now boarding their float plane. Let's just have a look what's going on here. Just level the tripod just a tad. There we go. And give you guys a look-see to see what's going on. And what have they got? Yeah, there we are. So this might be one of our first planes. Passengers are boarding. Looks like well, it is looks like, how silly. This is a turbo Otter, one of our first morning flights. I'm guessing that's probably our Nanaimo service heading out of here. And passengers are boarding. Isn't that fun? Look at that. Yeah, just wonderful. One of these days, one AvGeek girl and I are going to do a flight out of here, head over to Victoria or Nanaimo. Hello, Defender 1904. Hoping for a Boundary Bay. No, I won't be doing it. There's not enough traffic or interest to hold the levels of eyeballs, unfortunately. But thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, I think we do the best we can here at the float basin at YVR. So yeah, unfortunately, Boundary Bay is not a location that's going to be on my radar, but thank you for asking about that. And hello, YXX Plane Spotter. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's absolutely stunningly beautiful weather. It's nice and warm. This morning, as I say, we're about 20 degrees here in Vancouver at this particular time. Heading up to 30 according to the radio. So it's going to be a real nice morning. Hello, Gerard. I'm not sure if I caught you. Didn't want to miss you. So beautiful morning. Looking forward to, we're going to be here a couple of hours, I'll say, soaking up the action, no pun intended, and the float action. And it's a calm morning, right? The water's really quite calm. Have a look here. It's just, you can see that the water is really, really still. We have very, very little in the way of wind. And actually, I can show you Pan Pacific. No, we don't. Canada Place. There are no cruise ships, so who knows? Maybe a cruise ship will come in. Oh, actually, there is a. If you have a, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is a cruise ship on the other side of the dock. But on this side of the dock, we don't have anything. So it's a calm morning, beautiful morning here in Vancouver. Actually, absolutely beautiful morning, and let's have a look at the beautiful Stanley Park. There's our Lionsgate Bridge right there. Morning commuters coming into Vancouver from North Vancouver. So it is a stunning view. Hello, Friday Harbor. Need some fishing tackle. Yeah, it does make you feel like wanting to get on the boat and go for some fishing, actually. A friend of mine was actually up in the Queen Charlotte's this past week, and he had a very successful fishing trip. Actually, he did very, very well. He had He was up there for 4 days, and yeah, he was quite pleased with the proceedings. So they're expensive if you want to go fishing up in the Queen Charlottes. I think it's about $1,000 a day, maybe more. I think it starts at about $1,000 a day. So 3 or 4 days, like $3,000 or $4,000 US dollars. But yeah, it is what it is. You get to bring back the limit that you can bring out of the water. There are licenses for that. Good morning, Philip Ansett. How are you doing? It is now coming up on 7:27. 3 more minutes, actually. So 3 more minutes until the engines start turning here at the float base. So we're just having a little look around. We've got our... That's Sea Air Beaver. We've got, of course, a Harbour Air Beaver as well. That's nice, isn't it? 2 beavers. Of course, they'll be flying, definitely. Ooh, yeah, you've got crab. That's right. Yeah, in the Queen Charlotte's, lots of crab. I love crab. It used to be a thing in Las Vegas when we used to go pre-pandemic, but it's not anymore. So, but yeah, for... basically from the 1950s up until the year 2019, 2020, Las Vegas was famous with its all-you-can-eat crab buffets, which one half geek girl and I loved. It was just wonderful. And but post-pandemic, that's gone. That's ancient history. So it is what it is. But yes, we love crab and miss it very much. It costs a fortune here in Vancouver, of course. But yeah, to be able to have all-you-can-eat crab for, it used to be like $20 to $30 for the buffets in Vegas. But yeah, that was from a different era now. That was from a different era. So, but as soon as you mention crab, I immediately think of Las Vegas and having a wonderful buffet crab dinner in those olden days. So, yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Times have changed. Times have changed. So the world's changing very quickly. But what hasn't changed is the float base here at Vancouver Coal Harbour. We still have beautiful action every summer. And we're here right now soaking up the action, as you can see. And we're going to have some nice engine starts within the next 1 minute. Who's going to be first? Who's going to be first? Who's on first, right? Who is on first? Hard to tell. Maybe these guys are going to be the first to turn those engines. We shall see. We shall see. So let's just wait for the sound. As soon as the clock ticks, to look at that, we've got the 2 Canada flag planes there. I was going to say Canada Post. Canada flag. Canada flag. So yeah, we're just waiting for engines to start. And it'll be showtime. It'll be showtime. Somebody's got to be careful so they don't go into the drink there. He's doing his walk around, pre-flight walk around, right? You got to be careful that you don't go for a swim. I'm sure it's happened before. So it can happen. Yep, checking the engines, making sure everything's wonderful. And we've got beacons. We've got beacons right here, guys. So we have a beacon right. I think this is going to be our first aircraft. Right. Where's the beacon? 2 beacons. We got double beacons right here, actually. So I think these 2 airplanes, these 2 turbo Otters right in front of us, are going to be... oh, no, I'm wrong. I called it wrong, guys. I called it wrong. One of our Canada government, our Canada flag, is our first aircraft. So, right there. There's he warming up the engine. Yeah, he might have just been giving that a little bit of a warm-up. Let's go back to here. And I think these guys... there's so much to see. There's beautiful birds. Ooh. Hang on. Yeah, I forgot to lock my camera onto the tripod. Stupid me. Twin Otter. One of these will be the probably the first to start engines. Let's see what happens. You never know. Yeah, I forgot. I put the camera onto the top of the plate on the tripod, and I forgot to lock it on, so it went sliding backwards. So anyhow, it's now locked into position. I think we're good for a little bit here until I have to do a battery change. So, what a nice morning to be hanging out at the float base, soaking up the action. And hello, JD. Good morning from the Canadian Rockies. Something with you mentioned gray-white ship. Not a gray-white ship. I'll have a look at that. I'll have to see the gray-white ship. We'll have to have a look at a gray-white ship. I didn't quite see it, but I'm going to look for it. See if we can report back on that. Well, it is 7:33, so they're 3 minutes late on the engine start, but we do have beacons right in front of us. There we go. That's the sound. That's what we're talking about. Number 1, right there. Beautiful. The sound of music. Hello to Jacques at the fuel barge. We'll have to point the camera back and see if we can get Jacques. What a great job Jacques has working on the fuel barge. Most enviable job in Vancouver, certainly this time of year. It's showtime, to quote Jim Carrey. Beautiful stuff. Ground crew are going to release the airplane, as you can see. Our first departure floats away nicely from the dock. Such a nice calm view, isn't it? See where he's going to pour the metal onto the pedal to the metal. And we've got this airplane here is also getting ready to be dispatched from the dock. Yes, kudos to the dock crew. The sun will be coming out, Marnie, definitely. We're going to be roasting up to 30 degrees today. Let's see what happens. Where is he going to pour the metal to the pedal to the metal? Oh, I've got the nice smell of burnt kerosene, which I really... Oh, that smells good. So sweet. Okay, he's making the turn onto the active. No pun intended. Oh, interesting perspective for us, maybe. Spray is on. Spray is on. Up and away. Over the sulfur piles. Piles and piles. Okay, let's wait for our second. Oh, we've got a lot of passengers coming out here. And engines are starting somewhere. I hear engines. I hear engines. Hello, Karen. Nice to see you. Stop in for a cold pop and frozen herring. Hello, Jacques. Let's see if I can point the camera at you, Jacques. I'm not sure. So Jacques works over there on the Chevron fuel barge. Let's see if he might come out and say hello to us. Perhaps. Oh, hang on. I don't know. I'll leave it there, Jacques, for just a little bit to see if come out, give us a wave. Nice to see you, Jacques. That's great that you're watching Friday Harbor. That's wonderful. Jacques' Harbor House. That's okay, Jacques. We'll get you another time. I hear a Beaver. Starting engines. Well, I think they're just warming up the Beaver. Maybe. Thought I heard a Beaver puttering to life. So we've got passengers boarding there. Otter. Lucky Devils. Hello, Jim Jam Birds. Nice to see Jim Jam Birds in the house. Oh, round engine time. Well, they're warming up the Beavers, basically right there. Getting those engines nice and warm and toasty so they can have a good, successful day on the water. Great stuff. Yeah, lots happening. So nice. Oh yeah, it's turning into a beautiful, beautiful day here at the float base. It's gonna be nice. It's just a nice summer day, right? So we're warming up that round engine right there. I know they're just warming it up. I don't think it's going to go flying at this particular moment. So yeah, it's just getting you have to get these round engines warmed up so that they're all lubricated and feeling good to go flying. A turbine engine, you can just light it up and off you go. But a piston engine's different, so looks like they're backing up that Beaver or Otter right there. I've got eyes everywhere. Is that gonna? Well, they don't. Do they have a beacon on that? Yeah, because there's people. We saw the people board, so they're just backing it up away from the Beaver to start engines. Engine, I should say. I'm thinking Boeing 737-200, but no, not quite. Hello, Robert Brune. Radial engines, exactly. Yes, they are radial engines. Although, again, for 1950s generation propliners, you know, terminology from when we weren't around was piston bangers. That's 1950s talk for Douglas DC-6, DC-4, C-46 Commando, Connie. Yeah, those were piston bangers. That was just slang. Yes, they are radial engines. Oh, I hear something. Is it? It's a helicopter. It's a helicopter heading out of the heliport. Okay, I hear click, click, click. Where's the click, click, click coming from? I heard a click, click, click. Is it from here? Maybe. Is that my click? Because he's got his beacon on. Let's see. Let's see where we get that from. Yes, we're doing well, Jim Jam. Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. Hello, Rick Enns. Welcome to the show. Rick Enns is joining us from Winnipeg. On the way up to fly under the Lionsgate Bridge. Yes, that would be an interesting feat. Not to say that it can't be done. That would be interesting in a CP-140 Aurora. P-3 Orion for our American friends. Jim Jan says, did I get to my Dutch? No, I didn't actually. Thank you for asking. Yeah, Dutch gave me a birthday pancake. So that was in late June. I have to check the expiry on that. Somewhere in my emails. Somewhere, oh, there we go. Yeah, they're starting engines. We got double engine starts happening here because we've got the Canada flag machine as well starting engines. I'll have to check my emails to see what my expiry date is of my free pancake. Looking forward to that. We've got 3 airplanes starting engines, folks. 3 at the same time, so obviously we cannot be. We can't be on all 3 of them at the same time, but 1, 2, and then there's a third one right in front of me. So it is what it is. We need to have not a dual cam, a triple cam, right? Hello, Morito Neves. I'm so glad you're enjoying our float show today. It's wonderful. We appreciate you having here, spending your time with us. Thank you so very, very much. Robert says they usually hand prop radial engines before they start them. They turn them over by hand just to get those pistons up and down and some lubrication going. We've got a lander as well coming. Oh, looks like it's a Caravan. I'll point the camera there in just a second, actually. Maybe now. It's just kind of, let's see if I can find it. There it is. I'll do my best. I'll do my very best. Yeah, it's a Caravan. So he's going down to the east end of the harbor. He'll make his turn right there. We've got a bit of cloud cover, so I'm able to pan these airplanes, right into. That's where the sun is. So I'm able to do a bit better job than I was doing last week because we had full sun and it was very difficult to pan right into the sun. So, but we're gonna do our best. So none of these airplanes that are taxiing out now will take off until this airplane is safely down. Coming with purpose to the water, isn't he? This is quite nice. That's it. That-a boy. Excellent. Don't know if you guys heard about it, but a couple weeks ago, well, I will preface it, but there were no injuries, which is great. But a couple weeks ago, there's a corporate turbo Otter that has lived in Vancouver for a very long time. It's been on our show before. We've seen it coming and going from the South Terminal. And the pilot, it's an amphib. He landed on water with the wheels out. The airplane cartwheeled. Everybody was okay. And I guess the airplane will be rebuilt at great expense. But yeah, that's one thing. As a if you're flying an airplane on amphibs, which means there are wheels inside those floats, you've got to be very careful that when you're landing on water, your wheels are not down. Because if they are, the airplane's going to cartwheel. And that's what happened. I think it happened about 2 or 3 weeks ago. As I say, nobody was hurt, thank goodness. But it was a costly lesson. And yeah, it's one of the, I guess that's, I can't remember who the owner of the airplane was, but it's the local turbine Beaver on floats at YVR South Terminal. As I say, we've seen it many times on our show. So that airplane's going to be going through probably a 1-year rebuild, if not longer. And just we're happy that everybody's okay on that. Except the insurance, well, good thing that the insurance company's there too, I guess. These aircraft, harbor airplanes, are not amphibs. They are float planes. They do not have wheels embedded in the floats. Not that I'm aware of. So, here comes our, look how low he's riding in the water there on the back of the floats. Heavy, right? Loaded to the gunnels. Interesting. Somebody last week was commenting that, you know, the rear of the floats there, some of them are very low to the water. And I guess it's obviously by design. They can certainly do that if they're heavy. So that's just, yeah, that's part of the design. Quite a bit happening, as there always is this time of morning. For sure. It's nice because there's a bit of a cloud cover, so it's not roasting hot. Makes it a bit easier for me to work the camera, especially when I'm pointing the camera to the east. It's not full-on backlit, so it just makes it a little bit easier. It should be spray time momentarily. There it is, spray time. Spray is on. Let's see if we can watch for the step, left or right. Sometimes it's very hard to tell. I mean, when it's very calm water, they just kind of lift off, right? There's not much of a step on either direction. They gently lift off the water without having to make an effort to breach. the chop. As you can see, there's a lot of obstacles operating in and out of the harbor here. You've got to be, as a float plane pilot, you have to very much be paying attention to your environment. You've got boats, birds, cranes, buildings, trees. What have I forgotten? There's a lot, right? There's a lot to be aware of. So here's a turbo Caravan. Hello, Friday Harbor and TMF Brian. Yeah, you're showing us TMF Brian here. Welcome to the show, Brian. Spray is on. Interesting perspective. Hard 3/4 rear. Maybe there's a bit of a right step there. Little bit of a right step. I hear turbine starting. Yeah, it's our Twin Otter. So let's go get that, folks. Let's go get our Twin Otter, our beloved Canada flag Twin Otter. Beautiful. Love it. Love the smell of burnt kerosene in the morning. Double PT6 engine starts. Treetops. Yes, treetops. Have to watch out for treetops. Absolutely. Very nice. Very nice morning. It's calm. No wind. Peaceful. Doesn't really get much better than this, to be honest. This is a perfect morning. There, that's something. There we go. Look at those lucky passengers walking on the outer pontoon there as they come back from wherever they've come in from. That's a sight, isn't it? Love it. FDYL is the Reggie on our Twin Otter. I think we might be one of the only live streams right now, live streaming float plane action. I know there's a ton of land drones, but if you want to watch float action, I think we might be the only game in town right now on this great place we call planet Earth. So feather in our cap for being the only water show. Just to give you guys a beautiful perspective. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that a nice view? That's nice. Now, I wonder if he's going to start his port engine here anytime soon. Let's see. You never know. Hello, Lady Di. Missed last week, but we're happy to have you here this week. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for showing up, Lady Di. And hello, Timothy Manouche, joining us from YHZ. Thank you very much. Well, one day you'll come here, Timothy, and spend some time soaking up the action. It's always going to be here. Well, we're just waiting for this port side engines to start on the Twin Otter. Unless they're warming it up. I don't know. Is it going to fly? Are they going to maneuver it out of its position? I don't know. They might just be doing a warm-up on it. So, because I don't see any ground techs hanging out there. But we have passengers boarding right over here. So let's see what's going on with our... These lucky devils will be flying on the Harbour Air Caravan that's parked at the end of the dock here in front of us. Too bad our camera can't pick up what they're saying. Wouldn't that be amazing if the technology, like when you zoomed in, it actually takes the audio to where those people are? That would be some crazy technology. You know, you zoom in and hear what those people are saying down there. That would be really something else. Okay, we got our Sea Air Caravan is starting engines right here. Right there. That's Sea Air. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And there is Stanley Park and the seawall in the background. You can see people on the seawall, I think. There's a bicyclist right there. We got another turbo starting engines on the far dock. Right there. So that's what I like about being here now. There's just so much to see. There's so much action. It's nice. It's nice. Oh, look at this. This is an interesting one. He put the spray on close to here. So there's always a slightly different perspective when you have a water runway. Nice. Okay, engines are starting somewhere down here. And congratulations to TMF Brian. Welcome to JetFlix Premium. Thank you so very much for upgrading your account, TMF Brian, to be able to explore our premium content and also access the special emojis here in our chat right now. So welcome aboard. We really appreciate that. Thank you so very much, Brian. But do check out, we have a lot of our premium JetFlix content here on the YouTube channel. JetFlix is the world's largest and only all aviation streaming service. Did you know that? And it is owned and created by me. You can check it out at www.jetflix.tv. So we have over 1,000 aviation videos that I've filmed, most of them myself, going back to the late 80s. What am I saying? Yeah, late 80s. So that's what JetFlix is. It's a streaming service, but it's all aviation. So we have some of our premium stuff here on our YouTube channel. And now that you have upgraded to premium, Brian, you have the ability to view it. So 2 for 1 here. Look at this. It's kind of neat, isn't it? It's a nice view. Really nice and busy here for us. So nice. Bring on the mist. Bring on the spray. Checking those control surfaces. There he goes. That's it. Up and away. Look at the sulfur pile. Look at that. That's a shot right there. That is a shot. Wow. That was neat. Otter and sulfur. And we've got another one on the roll. Left step, ladies and gentlemen. Left step. We've got 2 airplanes on inbound as well. I think we've got 1 Otter and 1 Twin Otter. So we've got 2 landings back to back coming our way. Another sulfur view. Another sulfur view, folks. And we got a first landing is right there. Hop, skip, and jump. Bit of topsy-turvy. And the Twin Otter is also making the turn now. So I think we're going to go and get the Twin Otter. The Twin Otter is... Let me see if I can establish radar lock on. There we go. There we go. I'll do my best. I'll do my very best. Yeah, big airplane flying on floats. It's not a Mars, but it's the biggest we get here in them parts. Yeah, thank goodness for the cloud cover. I'm not looking right into the sun. Nice stuff. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Beauty. Beautiful. Brings it in nice and tight for us. Good view for Jacques on the barge. Another day at the office. Another day at the office. Yeah, beautiful view, isn't it? Wow. Wowzers. Thank you very much. Yes, like and subscribe if anybody's seeing this for the first time. I'm not sure that any of you are seeing it for the first time, but if you are, perhaps you could subscribe to the channel. No harm, no foul. Okay, we've got a Caravan pulling off dock right here in front of us. From one airplane to another. Yeah, great parking skills on the Twin Otter there. Did an awesome job. Away she goes. Let's see where this aircraft decides to point the nose. Pilot wavings are always nice. But I don't know if you guys saw, but last week, one of the Harbour Air Twin Otter pilots left a message, a comment, that he was flashing the lights at us. I guess they heard our discussion about the the lights, the flashing lights on the Twin Otter wings, and yeah, he left a comment. Yeah, flashing our lights at you now, Henry. So that was nice. Let's see where this makes the turn.
Let's go.
Okay, should be showtime here any second. Yeah, it is. It is. Right step. Right step. He's keeping it low. Sulfur. Nice climb profile there. Building that altitude. And there is the Lions, or there are the Lions. There is the Lions, there are the Lions. Take your pick. Nice. Good morning, Kevin Gillingham. Soaking up the aviation history in Gander. Excellent stuff. Terrific. It's a beautiful view. What do we got? Maybe they might be launching a Beaver here. We'll have to have a look. Hello, Gary. Hope you're doing well, Gary Sua, up in the Queen Charlottes. Hope your weather's well this morning, Gary. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here. Not sure what's happening here. Are we gonna hear something sputter to life? Maybe on this. Let's have a look. I think possible. We got another aircraft inbound, and I am watching the battery. 52% on the battery. Just to show you our inbound. It's kind of that dot up in the sky there. Right there. Turbo Otter. Yeah, we have Beaver action right here, folks. Harbour Beaver. That's a Harbour Beaver of the de Havilland variety. I like the color scheme on Harbour's Beavers. And again, you guys know the registration, FAXI. It's been on the West Coast forever. I remember this registration in the early 80s when I first started taking slides of aircraft. So yeah, this has been around for at least 40 years, this registration, that I can remember. So, Faxi, Mr. Faxi. Long time BC Beaver Reggie. So, yeah, the Reggies stay the same. The only thing that comes and goes and changes is the management and the pilots. I don't know, maybe some of the pilots are, they stay flying floats, and they've been flying floats for 50 years. That's very true as well, actually. Okay. Radial engine. Piston pounder, as I call it. He's taxiing, yeah, see, in a little bit different area than the others, a little bit further out. And he's going way out to the nosebleeds. Why? He could have, I don't know, there's a reason for it, I guess. He's going very far out. Oh, unless he's warming his engine. Maybe that's why. Maybe he wants more warmth on the engine, more warmth on those pistons, so that's why he's doing a bit of taxing there, whereas the turbine goes straight right in front of us. I bet you that's well, again, maybe some of the pilots that are watching might comment if my hypothesis is correct. But I'm thinking, yeah, he just wants more engine warmth time. So that's why he's doing all that extra taxing to warm that engine up before he pushes the throttle. I'm almost certain of it. But we'll see if anybody comments. Hello, Rick Enns. I'm glad you're enjoying the show, Rick. Okay. With the throttles, isn't he? He's definitely doing something there. Yeah, maybe now, maybe. That's it. He's committed. Not in the men in white suits way. There's some wobbling there to get on the step. That's wobble. Yeah, that's step action. The wobble there, the wing back and forth, and I think it was a little bit of a right step. But you saw him wobble the wings. That's getting on the step. I knocked my tripod. Bear with me, guys. I knocked my tripod, so let me just level my tripod. Did it go out of kilter? Not really. Not really. It's okay. It's all good. So I thought I did knock my tripod, but I thought it was going to go out of kilter, but it didn't. We've got a bunch of passengers, lucky devils, boarding the Twin Otter, heading to Victoria. Robert Brunn says he's getting the cylinder head temps up to operating temp. So that's it. I suspected that was the case. They just with a turbine engine, as soon as you turn that engine on, it's lit, it's ready to go. Like, I remember when I lived up in Yellowknife, I worked for a company, and we operated 737-200s, and as soon as we'd get those engines lit and the taxied off the runway, or taxied off the hard stand, they could literally turn onto the button of the runway and push those throttles up to a takeoff power at minus 42 degrees. So that's the difference between a piston engine and a turbine jet engine. When a turbine jet engine is lit, it's ready to rock and roll. But with a piston engine, or radial engine, you have to wait for the temperature. So that's why he did that long taxi out just now, to get the temperatures where he needed it to be. Thank you, Robert, for explaining that to us. I appreciate it. Yep. So we've got some passengers boarding their Twin Otter. Well, that's a fun flight. That is a fun flight, Twin Otter flight. And my battery's at 42%, so I am watching it nice and close. So I'll have to do a battery change in a bit. There's people are settling into their seats on the Twin Otter. And while they're settling into their seats, we do have, I missed it, apologize. We had this Sea Air turbo turbine Beaver arrive. Look at the snout on him. Quite the snout on this aircraft. It says, yeah, Turbo Beaver right there on the front. Nice, very nice. What a nice morning, actually. It's turned into a very nice morning, if I dare say so. Nice morning, very nice. Sun's just come out. Temperatures, as soon as that sun came out, the temperature is just gone up by about 10 degrees. So that's why I was more than happy to have the cloud, to be honest. More than happy to have the cloud, but the sun is here. And it probably won't go away until sunset. So passengers arriving on the Sea Air. So my battery is at 37%. So we do have to watch it. I will have to do a battery change in a bit. Hello, Mark Weber. Welcome to the show, Mark. Mark says, I'm here in Victoria on Vancouver Island. Well, have a wonderful day, Mark. Hope you guys have beautiful, beautiful day, just like what we have here in Vancouver. It's absolutely stunning right now. It's I'm now going to say it's higher than 20 degrees, because as soon as that sun came out, the temp came up. So definitely warmer. Gary Suha says, I'm the opposite. I love the sun. Yeah, well, up in the Queen Charlottes, I know you get some heavy-duty saturation, and it's colder up there for sure. Here comes a bunch of passengers. They're going to be boarding something. We'll do a follow-out on them. But yeah, in the Queen Charlottes, you love the warmth when you can get it. I definitely appreciate that. Oh, these are the passengers coming off turbo Otter exiting. So yeah, nice day. This is the dog, not really the dog days of summer yet. In another 2 weeks, I guess we can call it the dog days of summer. Okay, Twin Otter, showtime. Right there. Starting the engines. The engine start switches are on the eyebrows of the cockpit, so that's why the pilot's leaning over with his left hand to start the engine. So I explained about all that yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. So it's designed that way so you can't accidentally turn the engines off, cut the fuel in flight, which we all know, unfortunately, all too much about recently. On a Twin Otter, you've got to have your left hand on the control column, and you've got to bring your you got to have your right hand on the control column. You bring your left hand across your face over to the engine shut off and turn it off. So there's no mistake about turning off the bloody engines. I mean, I don't know. Boeing should have done the same thing, right? I mean, how smart. De Havilland figured this out in the 1960s. Boeing have the engine cut off, engine start toggles, usually right at the base of the throttle quadrant, so you don't have to reach over in front of your face to do it. But there was a logic to why de Havilland put the engine start, fuel start switches in the eyebrow section of the aircraft. So there could be no mistake about turning off the fuel flow. Well, obviously it's not the case with a Boeing, is it? So some things that we think don't make sense make a hell of a lot of sense until reality comes and slaps us in the face as to why certain things were done certain ways. Karen says, how farther north are you from Vancouver? Well, this is Vancouver Harbour, Karen, so we are in downtown Vancouver. Unless maybe you're talking to somebody else, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is Vancouver. This is city center Vancouver, so really, this is not really north at all. The city center is right where I'm standing. Our battery's at 31%, so gonna have to do a battery change here shortly, and the float plane is operational year round. Absolutely, it's every these are scheduled flights and they do happen all year round. It's just that the weather's nice now, and there's a lot more of them now than there is in the depths of winter. So that's why we're here right now. So, but good question. Yes, it's year round. Okay, and it was Gary's question. Are you far north of Vancouver? Okay. Yeah, the Queen Charlotte Islands are about 2 hours by jet aircraft north of, well, maybe an hour and a half by jet north of Vancouver. So that's, I'm going to say 600 miles north of Vancouver would be my estimate as to the location of the Queen Charlotte Islands and where Gary's located. It's at least an hour by jet north of Vancouver. So not quite as far south as San Francisco, but certainly it's like, yeah, getting there though, getting there. Your average jetliner, like a 737-200 will cruise at 550 miles an hour. So in 1 hour, it's going to fly, roughly 500 miles by the time it gets up to cruising altitude. Yeah, so 500 miles in an hour. And let's see. Here comes Hulu. Hello, Mike Venkman, nice to see you, Venkman. That's awesome that you are here. Glad to see you. Hope you slept well. Yeah, Gary says the flight is 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours out of Vancouver. It's a long distance, right? It is a long distance up to the Queen Charlottes. Named after Queen Charlotte. You can plug that into Google. I don't know. I can't remember Queen Charlotte, if it's the daughter of George III or something like that. But that's who the islands are named after. Queen Charlotte, Queen of England. %27 on my battery, so I will have to do a battery change pretty soon, I think. That was a right step. The airplane, leaned over to the right float there. Twin Otter is climbing quite nicely here. Obviously much higher climb rate than the Beaver. Really gets up there. And there are the beautiful lions right there, center frame. Nice stuff. Very nice stuff. Okay, so our Sea Air Turbo Beaver is pulling out right there. It says Turbo Beaver. Okay, well, congratulations, Venkman, member for 16 months. Wow. Venkman says, great water action. No other stream has this. That's right. Not right now. They may, but maybe not. I think I'm probably the only, or we're the only live streaming water boat plane show at the moment. So, yeah, Gary Suha, member for 16 months. Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much, Venkman. Appreciate that support. Great water action. Getting a lot of noise from something. I think it's from the Hulu ferry. Okay, the sun. You see, I'm looking into the sun, and it's a little bit of a challenge for me. I preferred the cloud, but it only lasted for about an hour. Our battery's at 23%. I'll have to do a battery change very soon, just so everybody knows. There we go, the spray is on. Rock and roll. There's a little bit of chop there, but he just gently lifted off there. He didn't need much of a step to clear that. Nice climb out profile. Yeah, I'm thinking we might do, well, let's see how I'll watch the battery situation very, very closely right now. Just because it can collapse pretty quick. So hello, Martin Lawrence and David Underwood. Nice to see both of you here. It's beautiful, beautiful. Morning. Isn't that a stunning view? Beautiful, magnificent, absolutely stunning. And here comes the... Okay, I hear turbine engines. Turbine, right there, guys. See where he pours on the coal in Coal Harbor. You never know. Yeah, nice to see you, Venkman and Gary. Current time is 8:34, so we'll be here about another 1 hour, something like that. You know, the morning peak is a 2-hour peak here. So it goes from roughly 7:30 till 9:30. So if you're budgeting your afternoon, if you're in Europe, or budgeting your morning, and you're wondering how long we're going to run the show for, another hour. So it'll go, but it will go by very quickly. That I promise you. It'll go by super quick. Absolutely. It'll go by in a flash of a pan. There's that sun. Helicopter going into the heli base on the other side of the harbor. Canada Place, actually. Yeah, so it's the sun's just come out. We've been behind cloud for, well, up until about 20 minutes ago. So now that I'm looking right into the sun, it's very difficult, and the sun is basically 100% into the lens of the camera, so really difficult for me to do, and it's also shining right into my eyes, so just do the best I can. I'm not going to promise you a perfect video right now, and the battery's going to collapse, so I think we're going to do a battery change. So we're going to do a battery change now. We'll do a countdown. And bear with me, we'll just do a countdown and we'll change our batteries. So that's fine, because I don't mind missing into the sun takeoff. So here we go. We're doing a battery change, everybody. We're doing a live battery change. It'll take just about a few seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm doing a battery change now. I'll be back in just a second. We are back. Just locking the camera onto the tripod, and we are back. Thank you very much for your patience while we accomplished our battery change, and there's a lander happening right here in front of us. It's nice. Yeah, that other one, okay, it's taking off. We'll move it around here. Right into this. Sorry about that. there. It's better when we're not so pointing the camera right into the sun. Okay. Okay. Arriving on dock. So Darren Smith says it's a 3-hour drive to Seattle. They have great seaplane base there too. Worth a try. Well, not for streaming, because there's no way I could unfortunately bring my camera gear across the US border. That's not going to happen. But yes, if you happen to be in Seattle and you want to go look at the airplanes, I understand they do have a very nice float base, and you can, I know, have great action there in Seattle. Some of those float planes go to Victoria, but no, in terms of my bringing gear across the U.S. border, no, that's not something I'm able to consider. Yeah, a lot of people on the seawall. They're right. Embankment. I'll show that in just a second here. As the day proceeds, people are out on the seawall having a very nice walk, enjoying their days, their mornings, getting some fresh air, moving the legs, just like this guy's doing right here, after being cramped up in the turbo water for 20 minutes. Hello, Paula Day. Welcome to the show. Here now, fell asleep, but rise and shine to the beautiful float action. No worries, we have another hour here roughly. That's all good, Paula. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver. As you can see, these people have just arrived here in Vancouver, Cole Harbour, on their Harbour Air Turbo Otter, probably inbound from the Nanaimo, that's my guess. And they're going to start their day and have a good productive business day. We started off a bit cloudy here in Vancouver, but the weather's turned nice and sunny, so beautiful weather. Absolutely warm today. I think we're going to be hitting 30 degrees. That's what they said on the radio. So it'll be a roasting and high humid day, actually. High humidity day. And you can see all the people lined up down below to board the Hulu boat, which is behind me, going to Nanaimo. Too bad they don't go to Victoria. I think it would be a better idea if they went to Victoria, but for whatever reason they don't. But maybe one day they will. Pilot's testing the engine, I think. Engine test. Oh no, maybe not. I'm sorry, yeah, they're boarding. They're boarding, actually, and they're on their way. They're rocking and rolling. They're going somewhere. And Karen is joining us from the middle of the United States, Midwest. It's nice, beautiful. There's something tranquil and peaceful about watching float planes. You know, the water. It's just a healthy thing, right? Getting the ions off the water, being by the seafront. It's a healthy, invigorating place, the seaside. Let's see where this aircraft takes off. Hopefully it won't taxi out right into the sun again. Hopefully. Doesn't look like that airplane's too full. There we go. Oh, nice. Nice, nice. I like that. Look at that. Beautiful. Maybe he was listening to me say that it's too difficult to film into the sun. So he poured the metal to the floor there, pedal to the metal, and that is nice. That is nice. Wow. Something beautiful and serene about it, isn't there? I think we'll see the lions here in just a second. There they are. There's the lions right there. That's the money shot. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay. And Mike Venkman was saying that people out on the seawall, right there, look at that. Yeah, people are out there getting their bikes out, circumnavigating the seawall. 10K around. It's a 10K distance if you want to go around Stanley Park. It is a beautiful thing to do, for sure. But if you're coming to see the park with a vehicle, you will have to pay steep parking fees. In all their wisdom, the very tight-fisted city of Vancouver now charges us to park at our parks and beaches. I will not vote for the clowns that implemented that policy whenever we have our next election here. That was very mean and tight-fisted. So yeah, I'm not going to support that. That is so mean to charge us big bucks to park at a park. Wow. Yeah, so one AvGeek girl and I were in Martinique in June, and there's no such thing as pay parking on the island of Martinique. The French have it right. They don't kick and gouge their people every penny they can get. Us Canadians are not the same, unfortunately, so I find quite irksome. But the French, hats off to the French. They really know how to live. They treat their people well, and they make life easier for their population. But here in Canada, things are expensive, and you get nickeled and dimed at every turn. So if you're coming here, bring a big budget. I think you're looking at about $5 an hour to park at Stanley Park. So it is what it is, unfortunately. Passengers are now boarding the Hulu behind me. And what a view this is. Here's our Cole Harbour condos in the background. And maybe our Twin Otter is actually starting for real now. I wonder. Let's see. Yeah, because there is there's a ground tech guy there, I think, standing there. So they might actually be starting up for real and going flying with the beautiful Harbour Air Canada 150 years national flag logo. Well, that's nice. That's nice. That is really cool. Love the sound of a Twin Otter starting engines. That's a sight, isn't it? That is a sight. Beautiful sight to behold. Wonderful. That's right, Venkman. I agree. If you guys can hit the like button, that would be really appreciated. Very much appreciate that support. And hello, Kevin Stanhope. They want you to bike the beach with your surfboard. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think they just want to get money, but that's our government here in the city of Vancouver. They did not have to do that, right? They just didn't have to do that. They've already got an empty homes tax, so that should be sufficient for their needs. So yeah, I will not be voting for Ken Sims, the mayor of Vancouver, in the next election over that one issue. That one issue. Everything else is secondary for me, but that one issue, he's toast. Yeah, they're going. They are going. Nice stuff. Nice. Look at that. What a beautiful color scheme. What a beautiful. I love the color scheme on this Twin Otter. Stunning. Look at the wing there. HarborAir.com. Isn't that nice? Such a beautiful color scheme. Wow. Yeah, this is our star of the show. The star of the show. FDYL. It's the Reggie. Nice. Love this. See, it's going a little bit far out. Makes the turn. Rudder action. He should turn to the left though. No, he's going that way. That's a different tack. Very different tack. Nice. I love the color scheme on this Twin Otter. This gives me such a joy to see it. It's just so beautifully painted. Lost it. I lost it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let's bring the camera back down to terra firma, or water. There we go. And let's see if... There we go. Wow. Surly Dev says, what's the regular schedule for Henry being at the harbor? The regular schedule is every Thursday at 7:30 a.m. for the remainder of the summer. So between now and the end of August, I'll be here 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursdays. Yeah, Thursday 7 a.m. Thursday 7 a.m. 7:30 a.m. Sorry, 7:30 a.m. The show will be 2 hours from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. every Thursday for the remainder of August. Yes. That is the plan. I will not be going to YVR during the month of August. I'll be here at the harbor every Thursday. That is my plan. Yeah, beware of ferry food. I like ferry food. Friday Harbor, back before the pandemic, they used to have a buffet that was run by White Spot on the ferry between here and Victoria at dinner, and it had clam chowder and seafood. It was just wonderful. It was about $20 for the buffet, and that was something that me and my late father, we loved that buffet. It was a wonderful, wonderful buffet, and of course post-pandemic they got rid of it. It was the best thing, right? But gone. All good things ended after the pandemic, basically, and that was one of them. The food on it was absolutely wonderful. I've got an airplane on approach, but I can't find it right now. Oh, there it is. I got it. I got it. Good action. 3 airplanes on the move right now. 3 airplanes on the move. So that's pretty good. This guy's coming out. Two for one. Oh, he might do a takeoff right here. That would be nice. He might do it right here before our very eyes, instead of taxiing out into the backlit back 40. Let's see. Let's see if he can do that for us. Maybe. He might. He just might. That would be wonderful. Yeah. There we go. He's pouring on the coal in Coal Harbor. That's a view. That's a view. Okay, what's happening back at the ranch? Here we go. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Hulu is departing Vancouver. It'll be quieter now. It's a noisy machine, isn't it? Quite a noisy machine. That ferry. People ferry heading to Nanaimo. It's much better, already quieter. Hello, goodbye. Goodbye, Hulu. Off it goes. There's the folks on the back. Watercraft are neat too. Watercraft are neat. We like watercraft. All forms of crafts, really. All forms of crafts are nice, or craft. I think that the plural of craft is craft, not crafts. It is craft. And back to the harbor. Beautiful, beautiful view. And what's the time? It's 9 o'clock here in Vancouver. Oh, thank goodness the sun went behind a cloud. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Parker Jets. Friday Harbor smells fresh brewed coffee. I had mine at 6 o'clock this morning, or was it 10 to 6? One Av Geek Girl and I got our coffee fueled up nice and early to get the blood pumping, ready to be hyped and stoked and ready for the show. So yeah, I'm already coffeeed up and all ready to boogie woogie. Okay, Clay H says Harbour Air has some fantastic deals. Only for one way, but still $99. That's a very good deal. Of course, it's a great deal. That's what I plan to do with One Av Geek Girl and I. We will try to find one of those deals on the Twin Otter. I think it's a bargain. That's $70 US. So it's an absolute deal. Yeah, you have to book it in advance. It's non-refundable. So if you don't show up, then you don't go. But I'd rather pay $100 one way. Instead of hundreds of dollars one way. So I think I see a seal in the water. Let's see if I can point the camera at it. Yeah, there he is. That's a harbor seal. Well, he's gone. See, as soon as I put the camera on him, he said, "Oh, I'm out of here." But at least we got to see him a little bit. That was a harbor seal. Yeah, you saw him. A water dog. Yeah, we got to see a seal. He also showed up for the show. Good stuff. Yeah. The temperature here is low 20s right now, Paula. We're calling for 30 degrees with high humidity today and the next several days. So yes, we're in the pre-dog days of summer. So in 2 weeks we'll be in the dog days. And hot day today, roasting hot. And we're gonna be up to 30 by the full-on effects of midday. So it's quite warm. It's quite warm, which is fine. Don't mind it, right? Because we have usually cold weather in the other parts of the year. So happy to have warm weather. I'm right now scouring the water for the water dog that we saw. Here's a funny looking boat, by the way, right there. Interesting looking craft, double hulled. Looks like that Italian float plane from the 1920s. I can't quite remember the name of it. Okay, where were we? What's going on down at the dock? Yeah, as I say, we got the one view of the harbor seal or otter, and it's gone. It made itself scarce, but we got a little view of it because he had his nose and whiskers up out of the water. But as soon as he realized I was filming him, poof, he was gone. Yeah, they're funny that way, right? They're very, very shy creatures, and they typically don't like to appear on film unless there's something in it for them, i.e. food. So I'm still scouring, looking for that thing, but no, he's gone. Hello, benevolent backpacker. Good morning. Nice to see you, benevolent. And hello, Glade. Have I missed anybody? Just checking the chat here. I'm just going to scroll up to see that I haven't missed anyone. Don't think I did. I think I've... Ken N. Ken says, I really like the harbor action every Thursday through the summer. I appreciate that, Ken. I'm so glad that you like it as well. Okay, I think I've got everybody. Don't think we've left anybody unaccounted for here. JD paid for parking at the Vancouver Aquarium. Oh, Canada, yeah. Well, it's not a Canada thing. It's a Vancouver mayor, Vancouver City Hall issue. So that's kind of what that is. Yeah. That's okay. We're gonna see what happens in the future. And as I say, we're just kind of waiting for some action here. The current time is 9:06 Pacific time here in beautiful Vancouver, BC, Canada. You are watching the JetFlix channel here on YouTube. My name is Henry Tenby, and you are watching this live at this very moment. This is a live show right now, and here is our Dutch Pancake House. Beautiful place to soak up the action, sitting at the Dutch Pancake House, having your coffee in a pannenkoek or with some stroopwafel. It's just wonderful. I love the Dutch breakfasts. It's fantastic. You know, they have so many nice things, and I always like to give them a shout out because they're one of the few restaurants in Vancouver that will give you something for free on your birthday. That is something that survived the pandemic, and they deserve mention on that. If you go into the Dutch Pancake House, you can give them your name and your birthday, and they'll give you a Dutch card. And when it comes time to your birthday, they'll send you a coupon for a free breakfast. So congratulations to Dutch. And this is a business that is very much well worth supporting. It's been a Vancouver regular for so long, and they have several locations. I tend to go to the one on Cambie Street. That was my late dad's one of his favorite breakfast places, the Dutch. And there's a Dutch Wooden Shoe on Cambie Street, and there's also the Dutch on Oak Street at Oak and 16th. So there you go. Good shout out to the Dutch. Definitely well worth supporting this business, and long may they continue. Long may they continue. Yeah, that's the Dutch. So there's our beautiful Cole Harbour. As you can see, it's a lovely morning here in Vancouver, coming up on 9:08 a.m. Pacific time. And we've got another 25 minutes to go of our show. And then I'm going to let everybody have a nice day, have a nice evening, and we'll get on with our day as well here. So time, of course, has been flying by super quick. Down here at the dock, we've been sitting at the bay, sitting at the dock of the bay. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Nice. Such a nice view. Yeah, so hope you're doing well. And hello, Kevin Gillingham. The Gander International Airport, along with the Aviation Museum, were very interesting. Oh, wonderful. Oh, that sounds wonderful, Kevin. I'd love to visit there myself. I did not know that they had an aviation museum. Do they have any airplanes there? Do they have any large aircraft? I've only been to that part of the woods only once, when I did a fuel tech stop at Goose Bay, Labrador. That was in the summer of '84. I was flying on a Quebec Air Stretch DC-8 from Vancouver to Gatwick, and we let down at Goose Bay, Labrador. It would have been in July, late July '84. And I remember there was a RAF Vulcan bomber, which I believe it went tech. Something happened to it, and they just left the airplane in Goose Bay. And it sat, and I don't know if it's still there. That's Goose Bay, but you're in Gander, Newfoundland. I was at Goose Bay, Labrador. So kind of the same neck of the woods. But I'm curious about that aviation museum. I'll have to Google it and have a look. And apparently, Kevin says, yeah, they do have airplanes outside. And One Av Geek Girl has published the link to the Dutch here in the chat for you guys if you're feeling hungry and want to treat yourself. It's not cheap, but it is good, and it's Canadian. It's a small Canadian business, and definitely well worth supporting. Looks like our Canada flag Otter might be starting engines for us. I think it is, which is wonderful. Great stuff. Kevin says lots outside, lots of airplanes. Wonderful. Yeah, one day I'll get there. Hard, it's kind of off the beaten track, Gander. I think Halifax is obviously the biggest airport in on the Canadian Atlantic Seaboard region. Backing up. Okay, we've got a aircraft on approach, so obviously that's going to land before this aircraft takes off. So as soon as it makes the turn, I'll bring the camera around. I just want to point my face and camera into the sun here, so I absolutely have to. Maybe now we can do it quickly. Where is it? It's right over there. That's it. Doing my best. I'm literally looking right into the sun. It's very hard to do. I'm looking between the gap between my baseball cap and the top of the lens of my glasses. It is very dicey doing this. Oh, there's a nice bounce. That was kind of neat. Got a very healthy bounce out of this aircraft. That was cool. That was very neat. Okay, back to our Canada flag Otter. Right there. Let's see where he decides to... Oh, good, he's turning. That's better. Spray is on. It's rolling. Very nice. Here comes the sulfur piles. It's the sulfur piles. Piles and piles. As in Gomer piles. Okay. And here comes our... Sea air. Caravan on floats. It's very well done. Oh, that was, yeah, it's nice. The temperature's really building, by the way. I'm guessing right now we're probably at 25 degrees Celsius. Like, I can feel the heat on my back, and it is really warm. It is really, really warm. It's pool weather. If you had a pool, you'd be sitting by your pool right now and going for a swim, and it's gonna get hotter. It is gonna get hotter. And the humidity is coming up too, for sure. Let's have a look. Warren Barker says, I'm here live for once, and I think you missed me. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Lauren. Very sorry that I did miss you. That is a shame.
Harbour Air?
Oh, their office is right here. Harbour Air? Oh, it says Harbour Air Seaplanes. You'll have to go down and into their office over there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what's... yeah, we've got hello to Jacques on the barge. And don't forget... Yes, exactly. Welcome back, Karen. I'm glad you're back. We can have a look at the fuel barge. I'll just leave the camera here for a bit. Maybe we'll see if we've got a little bit of time. Maybe Jacques will come out and give us a big wave. That'll be funny. We've got an airplane coming in, but I'll leave it here. We'll see if Jacques maybe is listening. He might come out and give us a wave. Let's see. The float plane is now like approaching Stanley Park, so it's got to go all the way down to the end of the harbor and then make the turn. So we'll just leave our camera here and see if Jacques... Yeah, Jacques has a great job. Look at where he's situated. It doesn't get better than that, does it? Fantastic, actually. Yeah, that's the fuel barge. And we've got it's a turbo Otter coming in right now. It's flying abeam the bridge, and it'll be heading down. And oh, hello, Esther, lurking, enjoying the show. Thank you very much, Esther. Appreciate your presence. I'll just let the harbor. It might be a Beaver. It might be a Beaver, actually. So I'll just let it get further down to the other side there, and then we can point the camera around. So it's warm. It is warm here, guys. Holy moly, is it warm? Definitely. He's making the turn to come down, but as I said, I'm just going to wait. Just going to wait a bit here because it's very difficult for me to point the camera into the sun. That's a great observation deck they have too on the Chevron fuel barge. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera around, see if I can film this landing for us. See if I can find the aircraft. There's the aircraft. Yeah, it's hot. Obviously, it's a single-engine turbine. Wonder if we get a bounce or two. No, he just settled nicely into the water. Very nice. It's really good. Great landing. It is humid. The humidity has gone up dramatically since we started the show. I'm literally wanting to jump into the water here, go for a swim, join our friendly Otter. It is very humid and hot. Big time, big time. Got another airplane on approach. That was me kicking the tripod. Sorry about that. Oof. What a loss for words. Got another aircraft making the turn in the East Harbor, and pretty soon I'll point the camera there to film it. Yeah, I'll bring the camera around now. Let's see if we can get a radar lock on. Right there. Piston Beaver. Harbour Air. Nice, well done. This porpoises it a bit, get her slowed down. Oh, that was me. Well, guys, it's coming up on, what's the time here? 24. 9:24. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. It's gone by in a flash, for me anyhow, super quick. It's like, boom, gone. 2 hours and 2 hours and a quarter go by in about 10 seconds. Mr. Faxi. He's coming into his usual spot. As he sputters down. There's your engine shutdown. And that's it. As it gently approaches the dock. We've got another airplane landing coming our way. Boy, it's a textbook, isn't it? Pilot does such a good job. Thought there was a bird there. I tried to film it, but no luck. No luck. Okay, we've got another, looks like a Caravan maybe, coming in. Yeah. Nice. JD is waiting for the shuttle bus to go to Cranbrook. Friday says, Jacques has dual citizenship and his float plane. And a private float plane. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. Wow, it says Jacques on the fuel barge, then he flies back to Orcas Island for the weekend. Yeah, he is a lucky devil. He's a very lucky devil. Super lucky devil. Let's get this landing. Let's see if I can walk in. Right there. Neat. Kind of cool. Beautiful. Well done. Again, Just to reiterate, we're doing our shows here at the Vancouver Harbour Float Base every Thursday at 7:30 a.m. for the remainder of August, at least. That is the plan. So that's our plan. That's it. Welcome to Vancouver. Beautiful stuff. Well, guys, I want to thank you all for being here. I've enjoyed the show immensely. It's getting roasting hot here, though. So time to pack up and get home, have some breakfast, and wish you all the very best for the week ahead. Enjoy your summers. Thanks for being here. Thank you very much for participating in our show, and thank you to our mods as well. I appreciate all your help. Thank you for those of you that are longtime subscribers, and for those of you that upgraded to support the channel. Really appreciate your premium support as well. Thanks for those premium upgrades. Wishing you all the very best. Look forward to seeing everybody right here, Vancouver Cole Harbour, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time next Thursday. We'll see you then, everybody. Bye-bye.